Hi, this is Jake with Lifeline Pet Supplies, and today we are covering the Lifeline Pet Supplies Puppy, Kitten, and Pet Incubator ICU. This is a portable unit. A lot of new features from our hinge door model, and this will be the replacement for that model. Let's dig in here and just kind of cover some features of this. I will do a separate video for setup so you can see that as well. Those are always located on the product page. You just simply click the picture on the category page, go into the product, into description. You'll see tabs next to description with videos. We also have PDFs of the manuals and instructions there too. So let's dig into some of the features of this unit. So this new unit is basically a two-piece unit. The tray can unlock from the bottom here. On the sides, you've got locking tabs, and you just simply move the tab forward to unlock it. And you do that on all sides here. There's two on the left and two on the right hand side, and that will allow the bottom tray to separate for easy cleaning. One of the new features of this unit that we're really excited about is the fact that it uses basically the same technology as the more expensive RCOM units. So this unit uses a PTC heater versus a lamp, so it distributes air evenly throughout the unit. And we've got a protection guard on there, which it doesn't even get hot to the touch. But this unit's capability is really neat. It's got a lot of great features that we know you're going to love. Another thing we've done now is created what we call a slide and lock design, and you'll see these keyholes on the top here. There's actually 8 in total. That allows you to slide and remove the box from the unit, the controller boxes. So this unit is the standard setup. That's $449. It comes with the digital temperature controller. Now you get a manual hygrometer in a pack that comes with the unit. It's going to look like this. The hygrometer's inside of there, and a power and a fan cord when you first get it. That gives you all the power connections you need for the fan, the cooling portion of it, and then also the power cord for this control box. So the slide and lock design basically works like this. You push the unit back and then it will lift and release. I'm not going to do that right now, but just kind of give you an idea of the ease of removal for it. The second set is here. You have 4. Usually this will be in the center if you've just got the one controller setup, but if you purchase the add-on digital humidity system, which we highly recommend, you can simply slide and unlock and move that to the left, and then bring your new box in and bring it and lock it in right beside of that. Now, that slide and lock design will allow you to, if the controller ever needs repair, it's really simple to send it back. You slide and unlock the box, unhook it, no cords needed. Other than the temperature sensor, and you send it back to repair for us. All covered under your warranty, of course, within your 1-year warranty. And then same thing for the digital humidity controller. But what it'll also do is allow you to remove this box at some point. What we're going to do is make a slide and lock design for the whelping boxes as well. So you can move that over to your whelping boxes when your puppies or whatever you're incubating transition over into a whelping box or larger area, and let that control your lamp temperature on and off. So let's go over a few things on the inside of the unit, and I'll show you some of the cool features of this. So inside of the unit here, you can see right in the center here, we have the PTC heater fan, forced air fan PTC heater. That is completely covered by a guard, which has an access panel, which you won't need, but that's there at the bottom. Completely keeps your animals protected and safe. This has been running for probably about 15 minutes, and I can sit my hand against there. It's not hot whatsoever to the touch. You've got 2 cup holders at the back, and of course the cooling fan with a filter, your sensor holes. Then on the right hand side, we've got the white connection there's for oxygen. The center one here is for the nebulizer, if you want to use it as a nebulizing chamber. And then the front connection here closest to the door is the a port for the tube for the digital humidity system. At the bottom of this unit, you are going to see that it has a really nice, super deluxe, non-skid piece of vet bedding that only comes in royal blue. One comes standard with the unit. There is additional option. You can purchase more if you want, but it's got a non-skid backing similar to a bath mat. This material is really revolutionary. Very popular overseas. We have a manufacturer here in the States that makes it. Feels like fleece, like the mom's fur. But it also has that non-slip backing. So that comes with it. It wicks moisture away from your puppies. You do not have to worry about your puppies getting wet, and it's also washable. The recommendation is just to not use fabric softener with it. So you can clean that. We have available, like I said, additional ones available for purchase. You can also purchase the the washable puppy pads that go on the top of this. If you wanted to use a puppy pad and just wash those and keep that as a soft cushion to keep your animals from laying flat chested in it. We've got the 2 cup holders here in the back. They simply fold down and adjust at the top. You can put a couple cups of water in there if you're using that for humidity manually. And then let's go outside and see the port connections here. So on the right-hand side of this unit, we've got 3 ports. Again, and the first one closest to the doors for humidity, those ports just push out from the center. Basically, use your thumb, hold the side, and push that port out to open it up. If you're not using it, you can use it, unlock it, or push it out for additional ventilation. Again, one for the nebulizer, and then the back one is for oxygen. Now, standard oxygen tubing fits snug on this side. One really cool feature, if you come back around, you'll see it basically just has an angled piece that comes inside. So that allows you to leave that open if you're using oxygen for the entire incubator, but it will also allow you to use a short connection tube down to a with another piece of oxygen tubing, like a 4-foot, put it under the pad, and it can come up for an animal that needs direct to face. So what we call direct to face or direct to snout, whatever the case. Oxygen therapy via a homemade oxygen cone or a purchased oxygen cone. That is really neat when you have gasping animals that need direct oxygen. You don't need to rush them to the vet. If you purchase a concentrator from us, you're going to have everything you need to supply that animal with oxygen therapy and do the same style treatments that your veterinarian would do at home. So one other really cool feature. So that's pretty much it. The floor space in this unit is about 17 inches by 18 inches at the floor. It just slopes slightly off here at the floor. We do have one thing at the back. You can see there's another black connection there. That port can be popped out. You could purchase a heating pad if you want for the unit. You'd need to lay a towel or a barrier down if you decide to do that, then the heating pad, and then lay this mat over top. That heat will absorb up through this. So that would, a lot of people's like, well, do I need a heating pad in it? Technically, no, you don't. But as a backup system, so if something were to fail here, if the heater or something were to fail on the unit, or whatever the case happens to be, then it would allow you a backup heat source and keep puppies or kittens or whatever you have in there from being chilled. It will help the unit to run more efficiently if you do choose to purchase the heating pad. So normally, we'll come out here. Normally we set this unit for, it's going to be set for 89 degrees when you get it. We cover all the settings at the top here. I'll go over a few of them. If you want to change your temperature, you simply hit set. You use your up or down arrow, and then you hit set again to change your temperature. Now it's set for 89.3. We'll go back down there to 89, hit set again, and now it's set for 89. Very simple to use. The internal settings a little bit different. You hold in the set button. You're going to see an HD, which is heating difference, pop up. And then you hit set to go into those parameters internally. We have it currently set for 0.1 degrees Fahrenheit, and all those settings are up here on the top of the controller. If you let that time out, it's going to go right back to the main screen, and then you've got to do it again here. Inside this unit, you'll see the lighted switch here. We also have, as you can see there internally, we also have a LED puck light, so it does not put off heat, but makes it a nice little viewing lamp to see your animals inside. Really, really cool feature. So let's go around to the back of the unit just so I can show you where the sensors are placed. So we're at the back of the unit here, and on your standard box connection when you get it, you're going to plug in this little switch here is for your puck light. You'll slide and lock that in. You'll go ahead and do your power cord, your heat and cool. They're all color coded there with your fan cord that's in the pack. And then you will have this sensor at the back, and that sensor needs to go on this, if you're looking at the back, on this right hand side. So the middle one is for humidity, The left one is for that second, it's actually a dehumidification sensor that goes here to the left, and you will only use these two if you purchase the add-on digital humidity system, which I'm getting ready to cover here in just a second. So, hey, we're back, and what I have done here on the top is I have connected if you purchase the add-on digital humidity system for the unit, you're going to get a second box that looks like this. So what I've done is just slid out and unlocked. I slid back and unlocked and moved the temperature controller box over to this left-hand side, and then I've slid the digital humidity controller box in now. This box, again, has instructions. 40 to 60% is our recommended levels for the incubator for puppies, kittens, most other animals. We set it for 50. So that is the recommended setting, 50%, and it's set for that. Not really much you need to do in terms of the humidity. The humidity system also has a couple sensors here at the back, which look like this. This is the actual humidity sensor, which has got the yellow, red, and black cord. That's going to go in the center port on the back. And you can see that sensor coming out here. Again, it looks like this. And it's going to go right down here underneath the fan. Basically, what you want to do is, let me get my hand out of the way here, is just take the sensor here, and it's just going to pressure fit in there. I mean, it fits pretty snug, but it doesn't need to go all the way in. Basically, just needs to push in so that and look about like that, just where you see the very back of it, so that those holes are in, taking a reading there. And then the one on the left of that is the other sensor, and those kind of come right down in line too. So that sensor comes back underneath the yellow, goes into the black, and then the humidity sensor, the dehumidification sensor comes out under the P and goes into the spot just to the left of that. So that completes the sensors at the backhand side of that. What you want to do there is just line that sensor up and push it in until you can't see silver anymore. It's pretty simple. That's it. Those are also placeholders. They hold those in place. This cooling fan here will extract heat if the unit were ever to overheat. Has that built-in heat protection. And the one at the top, which also has filters, brings in air and is exchanging and heating that air as it's coming in. So it's constantly circulating fresh air throughout the unit. You don't have to worry about any carbon dioxide buildup or anything in the unit, because it's constantly moving that. Now the unit still does vent. We get this question a lot. It's not totally closed off. So it vents around the door here. And you can see I've got it unlatched. We've just got a simple pull style latch on this. We looked at another locking style mechanism, but it just didn't make much sense. So we ended up with a simple latch, which is basically just a pull style latch. It's just got a little hook on the bottom. Very simple to use. We weren't technically sure if we needed it, but some people may want that protection if they've got an older puppy. It's got a very large edge in it, so the likelihood of that coming out, I mean, you've got a 5-6 inch height here. The likelihood of this door coming open is very slim, but this makes it very simple to keep it latched and keep an animal from getting in or out. If you've got little kids or something, they're not likely going to be able to pull that open, or if you happen to get a larger puppy in there, they're not going to be able to get that pushed open. So that kind of covers some of the features of it. I'll do a more in-depth setup of the unit, but again, 17 by 18 at the floor. Total dimensions of the unit are like 21 or 2 outside, and then you're looking at about 21 in height, total height. It is 16 inches from the basically the pan all the way to the top of the unit, 13 inches to that center, about a 5 inch, roughly a 5 inch by 5 inch protection guard over that heater there. So simple unit to use. It is portable. It will work with an inverter that we sell as well as an add-on. Now the connections for the unit, other than the oxygen that's standard, so the add-on connections for the nebulizer, and again the box with the outboard pump for the digital humidity system, which I'm getting ready to show you now, those are purchased separately. We do highly recommend purchasing that digital humidity system because humidity within a room constantly fluctuates. Within the unit, heat naturally dries moisture out. So You know, right now we're at full temperature, and we're probably 45-50% in the room, and we're at about 32%. So we're not quite to that 40 minimum, and certainly not at that 50% target right now that we want to be. And we're almost at full heat. So that constantly changes. The digital humidity system just takes the guesswork out of that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hook the pump up for the unit. It's pretty simple to do. I want to show you one more thing before I do that. At the back of the box here, you'll see that we have the power cord that's you know, coming out right now. That's coming out of the left-hand box, the temperature controller box, plugged into this yellow outlet. That outlet right there is on constantly. They're labeled as well. They're color-coded and labeled. So that one is on constantly. You can power this box by taking the power cord and plugging it directly into here when you're using both. Then you only have one power cord going to your surge protector. And we always recommend using a surge protector. In fact, if you do not and there's an electrical surge, it will not be covered. We require that you use a surge protector. It only makes sense. The beauty of these versus the old units is that they have a fuse inside of here, so it would blow the fuse, and you've got a backup fuse. So you have two fuses in each box, one being used and then one replacement if one were to go out. So the pump that I'm getting ready to show you will plug in right here. And the humidity controller basically does the same thing as the temperature controller does. It tells that pump when to turn on and off as it needs humidity. If it's above the setting, above the reading, then it's telling it, you know, off. We don't need humidity. If it drops below your setting, if you've got it set for 50 and it drops to 49, it tells the pump then to kick on, and it just on and off. And that's the same way it controls the heat is basically how it controls the humidity. And let's go back around to the front. So this is the connection here on the left-hand side, closest to the door for humidity. I'm going to show you how that pump hooks up. So inside of the unit, these plugs basically just, they don't really act as much. I mean, you can use that as ventilation if you were not using the digital humidity system. What I've done is gone in there and forced that plug out with my thumb there and just pop that out. And you want to keep these. Don't throw these away. I just set them right here in that kind of little tray area back here at the unit, and then that way they're where you need them. And then now you can see we've got the connection for humidity here. And so this is what the humidity pump looks like. I've kind of already got it assembled, but I'll take that apart here to show you. This connection here from the pump goes into the backhand side of the unit where the P is there. You just simply plug that in. Now, right now it's going to be calling for humidity, and you can see it's already coming out. I'm going to turn the power switch at the back of the unit off currently before I get this hooked up so I can show you these connections. And so this is pretty simple to put together. You basically, once you get it set up, the pump where it's going to go, I usually recommend keeping the pump on a next to the table. The top really needs to be lower than the bottom of the incubator, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you kind of how this goes together here. So you've got a few connections here to it. You have the top piece, which is the black piece, and then this piece is inside, and that kind of piece with the grooves goes right on that piece, on that black piece, and that will plug right here into the humidifier here. And then your tubing in, which this is flexible tubing, just pressure fits right down on top of that. And then this end here is going to go over to that port we just spoke about earlier. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And then on that end, you've got this connection here, which we include. So that needs to be pressurized into the other end. That'll come inside your pump. The smaller end goes down in the tubing, and then the end with the grooves here will go into this spot here on the humidity, and you just pressure fit that in there. So it should be, you should see about half of these grooves once it's in. I'm going to do that real quick. So that's what it should look like when it's connected. Again, that tubing needs to run at a decline, not like it is currently. I'm just showing for demonstration purposes. Once that's set up, and everything's good to go. Only use distilled water in this when you fill this jug at first. The fill hole's at the bottom. You don't fill it from the top. Flip it over, put your distilled water in it, put it on there, get it all set up and put it on there. Then you can go ahead and reach around and turn the power button on. So once you do that, you're going to see now it's green light's on, and it is telling the unit to pump in humidity, and we will begin to see that humidity level rise until it reaches the desired humidity setting. So the sensor that's in the center back of the unit is what's taking that reading internally. Just like the other sensors do, it takes its specific reading. This is for humidity here, so you're going to see the humidity start to come up. Now, when you first hook up the pump, the water inside the pump is cooler than the temperature inside. So you're going to see a little bit of a drop in temperature, and that's totally normal. It's really just a little bit of a false reading. You don't need to pay attention to it too much. Once it gets up there, it'll balance itself out. Generally takes about 20-25 minutes or so, and everything will be balanced and you'll be back to normal readings. But what it's doing is that temperature sensor is picking up the temperature of that cooler water coming into the unit. And the unit will continue to heat. Like I said, it's set within 1/10 of a degree. You're going to see less than a 1/2 degree of fluctuation each way. Puppies and kittens do not notice anything less than a degree like we would in a home. 1 degree isn't noticeable, and totally safe for them. So they're not going to notice much difference in the fluctuation of the temperature. The unit comes complete with instructions. Like I said, it's portable. You can purchase the inverter. We've got all kinds of different options there for you to purchase. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. These are available now in the store, and we probably will allow back orders at first as we begin to build stock of these units. If they are in stock, we do ship out same business day, Monday through Friday, if it's not a holiday, if the order's placed before 1:30 p.m. The free shipping option that we give is basically usually a FedEx home delivery. That's anywhere from us in the United States within 5 business days. You can see a ground map for home delivery under our shipping section in both the terms and conditions and the customer service section. You can see that ground transit map to get an idea of how many days you're looking at. International shipments, on using this internationally, you will need to purchase an inverter for the unit. That was actually an alarm going off there as that temperature was coming down, as that was coming in, and it will do that until it gets balanced out. It has a built-in high and low alarm. Anyway, international shipments, you will need to use a power transformer for this. We will offer that as an option as well. For international shipments, of course, those shipping fees are not free. Customs fees, this is US dollars, so customs fees is not included in the price of that shipping. So you'll have to pay customs duties if your country requires it, in addition to the cost there. And that's generally, really just varies by country. So that's the Lifeline Pet Supplies Puppy, Kitten, and Pet Incubator ICU. We hope you like it. It's a great model. We've been testing this model for months now. We're extremely happy with the results, and we think you will be too. Thanks for shopping LifelinePetSupplies.com.